Hi everybody, this is Ospreyeye from MyChartCoach.com, and we're going to take a look at some stocks that are in play today. Okay, let's take a look at CATB. All right, this stock actually heated up yesterday with this with the move down here above the middle Bollinger Band. So there was this nice pop yesterday. If you notice, it was in this sideways consolidation pattern, and then it had a break above the high close horizontal resistance level, and so that was signaling more upside potential. So notice the break here above this candle. This was the clue that it was ready to head out higher above these high close levels, and so that was signaling more upside potential. Today there was this big gap up open, and then it ran to our next target, which was the 50-day simple moving average, which is this green line right here. It hit that level and it pulled back, and so the pullback shows profit taking. There is a gap on the chart. There's a space between high of day yesterday and low of day today, so if it does pull back, it could pull back and fill that gap. What bulls want to see is they want to see it close above the 50-day simple moving average and that level turn into support. There was a previous gap between this candle and this candle, so there could be a gap fill, taking you up to this level here. That would fill the gap, and that would put a run up to the 200-day simple moving average. So yeah, there was a big volume spike today. Parabolic SAR bullish flip. Notice the green dots are now below the candles. When a stock is breaking out, we like to look at the 15-minute chart, and so the 15-minute chart here is going to show the big move today. If you see here, there's this giant run, and then it's consolidated, and then now it broke below the middle Bollinger Band. That's this dotted purple line. That's signaling downside risk. In order for this chart to stay bullish, it needs to get back above the middle Bollinger Band. If that turns into resistance, it could pull back and test the 50 simple moving average down here currently at 169. It is rising, but that will be the next big support level below the lower Bollinger Band at 192. That is currently the next support level. If you look back here, this is a good example of a tight Bollinger Band set up on the 15-minute chart. Look how tight the Bollinger Bands were here. Look how the candles traded sideways on the 8th, and then it was the break above resistance on this candle right here at 10 o'clock on the 9th that your signal that was the signal that this was breaking out to the upside. Notice how this candle closed above all the moving averages. The moving averages are located up here in this corner, and so the candles riding above EMA4 and above the middle Bollinger Band and above the middle averages, that was signaling more upside potential. And so that set it up for this big move today. Notice all the volume came in today. There was giant volume behind the move. And then you had this climax sell-off. So in order for CATB to remain bullish and in play, it needs to get back above the middle Bollinger Band, and it needs to hold support. The key is going to be a break above the high close, which is right here on this candle. This is the key level to break, in the 250s, in order to break out to the next level. Fail to break middle Bollinger Band resistance, and you're looking at a potential drop down to the 50 simple moving average. Okay, let's look at ICLD. This stock has been on a huge run. It's breaking out big time on the daily chart. So we had this is the daily chart here. I was going to show you the weekly, but check this out on the daily chart. This is a really nice move this week. Notice the close above the 50-day simple moving average, the green line on Monday, and then it's pushed all the way up here, and now it's above the 100-day simple moving average, which is the gold line. There is a gap. Notice the space between the top of this candle and the bottom of this candle. If the 100-day simple moving average fails to turn into support, you could see a pullback, and you could see this gap here filling. Okay, the chart could remain strong with the gap still filling. In order for this to head higher and break out to the next levels, it's going to need to turn the 100-day simple moving average into support. If you notice, there was this there was a big support level back here that will turn into resistance. Anytime you have a big support zone, that becomes resistance. So in order to head higher, it's going to have to break through this 4 resistance zone. The next simple moving average above the 100-day simple moving average is way up here at 26, the 200-day simple moving average. So this is a really strong move by ICLD. I mean, notice the giant volume down here, huge volume since it's dropped down to over the counter. This used to trade on the big boards recently got delisted. This big drop was during the whole like delisting process. Now it's over the counter. Big volume has come in and they're taking it higher. So keep an eye on ICLD. If it turns that 100-day simple moving average into support, it's going to signal more upside potential. Another nice runner has been RNN. Okay, RNN has made a really nice move the last couple of weeks. You can see here, this is another one of the breaks above the 50-day simple moving average. Notice this is the green line. That's a reoccurring theme for very strong bullish stocks. This is what runners do. They break above the middle Bollinger Band right here, and then they break above the 50-day moving average, and then that signals more upside potential if that level holds, and then they run up to the 100. You know, this is textbook. It's just, you know, these are the kind of plays that we look for, the kind of subs that we look for. You know, the ticker symbols change, but the names do not. You know, the patterns do not. So we're always looking for the same patterns. Okay, so this is actually this is the weekly chart, and this is each candle represents 1 week of trading. So pardon me for that. And so this is showing that the chart was setting up back here in January with this big close above the middle Bollinger Band, and then the close above the 50-week moving average last in February. That was signaling more upside potential. It totally, you know, it held support, and then now to start March, we're getting a break up above the 100-week moving average. So the 100-week moving average is the key level to hold. If it turns into support, then you could see a run up to the 200 and 300-week moving averages. This is a really strong uptrend. You know, RNN has been super bullish on the daily chart, and that's why I had to bust out the weekly chart to try to find the next resistance levels. We'll be looking at you know, the close here. You know, this is another key resistance zone here that'll be tough to break. So you want to see a close today above these levels, which you know, there's another 45 minutes to go. It could totally do that, and if it does that, and it turns into support like the 50-week moving average did, then the next level, the break is going to be up here at the 200 and 300 week moving averages. This has been a really nice uptrend that started you know, the beginning of this year, and it's been this big reversal of the previous downtrend. Okay, let's look at SHLD. Okay, Sears Holding. Okay, they closed a whole bunch of stores, like 400 and something stores, and the street loves the news. The share price is running. Check it out. It's already had this uptrend going. You know, it closed above the middle Bollinger Band back here in this second week of February, third week of February, and then it was able to hold middle Bollinger Band support earlier this week when it was tested, and then now today we've got the big move above the 50-day simple moving average, the green line. That's what we'd like to see. So now the next target is the 100-day simple moving average. If it can get above that level, close above that level, we'll be talking about a run up to the 200. So first things first, it's going to need to break the 100-day simple moving average to head higher. Notice today's candle is busting through the upper Bollinger Band. That's a solid purple line. That does signal that the move is getting frothy, but you know, you have a PSAR bullish flip. You've got MACD, you know, bounced off the MACD line, bounced off the signal line. That's very bullish. You know, it was starting to well, actually, yeah, there was a crossover here, a bullish crossover on MACD. So on the 8, 13, and 5, so that's bullish. So you have the parabolic SAR bullish flip, the MACD bullish flip, and then you have RSI back in the 50 to 70 bull zone. It's still not overbought at 65, so above 70 is overbought, and then now you have Fasto above 80. So on this previous run, you can see here where multiple candles formed, Fasto did stay above 80. So yes, this is a great move by SHLD. We'll see if it can break the 100-day simple moving average next week and head higher. Okay, here's a stock to look at, PLX. It's heating up today. It was below the middle Bollinger Band. It's been in this sideways channel. If you look here, there's this channel that had formed. It's it had a nice run. It had a very strong uptrend. It pulled back, and then it tested the I should have made these red, but it tested the middle Bollinger Band, and it held, and then now it's looks like it's breaking out, and it's going for a test of this high close horizontal resistance. So this was the key level to break right here, the close on the 24th of February, and it's breaking above that. We want to see a close above that level and above this middle Bollinger Band, the dotted purple line, and that will signal that maybe it's breaking out and trying to get a new uptrend going. Because notice how it had been trading sideways sideways in this tight channel for multiple days, and that the pressure was building. So a lot of times when you get a pop above, you'll see a bullish move follow. So the next key level to break is going to be this closing price on the 13th of February. If you can get a close above that around 131 or so, that's going to be the signal that it's ready to head higher, and you could be talking about testing this high close up here in the close to 150. And so this is a nice setup. It's got the volume spike, so that's what you like to see, a bullish volume spike. MACD's starting to cross over down here on the 8, 13, and 5, so that's good. And we've got RSI is not at overbought levels yet. It's in the 50 to 70 bull zone, and Fasto is back above 80. If you look back here on this really long uptrend, check out how Fasto was above 80 the entire time. So this break right here was signaling the start of this run, and look how it ran from 45 all the way up to $1.50. Okay, and that was when Fasto broke above 80. Well, Fasto just broke above 80 now. Is this going to be the next start or the next big push higher? Well, that remains to be seen, but this is signaling the potential start of a new run for PLX. All right, if it fails to turn the middle Bollinger Band into support, that will signal downside risk. Okay, let's look at FCX. Let's take a look at copper. This is what people look at when they want to see how copper is doing, and as you can see, it's in this nasty downtrend. Notice that the middle Bollinger Band, broke support, back here, and then it failed to get back above it, and then it broke the 50-day simple moving average. And when you get candles forming below the middle Bollinger Band and below the 50-day simple moving average, that's the signal for major downside risk. This is the inverse of what we say for the break above. When you get a break above both levels, this is when you go long, and then when you get a break below, this is where you go short. So this is the take your long position. This is the break above the 50-day simple moving average and the middle Bollinger Band, go long, and then when you get a break below the middle Bollinger Band and below the 50-day simple moving average, that's your signal to go short. That's a pretty simple strategy, and you can do that. Anybody can do this just by following the daily chart. And so look how it dropped all the way down here to the 200-day simple moving average. It had a close below, and then it bounced yesterday. It's got to get above that level and EMA4. EMA4 is this pink line. If you see a close above 1264, that's the 200-day simple moving average. That'll be the signal the bounce play is trying to heat up. Then it's going to have to work its way through the EMAs. Notice back here, the last time it bounced, it got back above the 100-day simple moving average and above EMA 8, the lime line, but it failed to hold, and that signaled more downside risk. It's going to have to turn these levels into support to get back up to this level. So this is a really nasty chart. It's hitting the key support level now. So this is the really big level to hold. If it doesn't hold this level, then you're looking at a potential drop down to the 300-day simple moving average, which is at 1129. Okay, so let's take a look at the Baltic Dry Index. Okay, check out how this thing has been rocking. Okay, it came down here and bottomed out around the 14th or so, down here at 685 on Valentine's Day, and then look how it's just been heading higher ever since. So it was down here at 685, and then now look at it. Up here it closed yesterday at 1064, up another 1.82%. This is a monster move. But if you were looking at the shipping sector, marine transportation stocks, you would have no idea. Look at this chart right here. This is not reflecting the big move. Look how this is still trading sideways. This is SALT. This is one of the marine transportation, what we call shipping sector stocks. And we've been just waiting for these stocks to break out and get going higher. Okay, this had a nice bounce off the 50-day simple moving average. Once again, that key level, right? The 50-day simple moving average, we talk about this a lot. Well, it makes a really good level to bounce off on pullbacks. So this bounce right here was signaling more upside potential. Now you got a move above the middle Bollinger Band. Okay, so a close above that level could signal that it wants to get this uptrend going again. It's been trading in a sideways channel. It's got to break this key resistance zone. All right, so if it can break through the resistance, then it could head higher. If it fails to break through the high close, which is right here on these candles, then it's just going to keep doing the sideways action. Right now, it's like in the middle towards the upper part of the channel. All right, so this the upper Bollinger Band and this red horizontal resistance line represent the top of this sideways channel, and the 50-day simple moving average and the lower Bollinger Band are representing the bottom of this the sideways channel. And so it bounced off the bottom, and now is it going to hit the top again and pull back, or is it going to finally bust through? Well, if you see a close above this red line, around 790, if it gets up there and closes around $8, that's going to be your signal that it's finally ready to head higher. Okay, so if it fails to do that, then you're going to see the continuation of this trend. Okay, this is unless you're playing in between these two levels. You load off the bottom of the channel and then you sell off the top. Load off the bottom, sell off the top. The sideways channels can be cool if you're playing it right and you're entering at the bottom and then you're selling at the top. Then you could do well, but they're kind of boring patterns for most people, and so we'd like to see this thing break out of consolidation and make a move higher. Okay, look at GSL. This is another marine transportation stock. It's got this bounce today. Okay, so this is a very low volume play, but just to give you an example of what's going on in the sector, it's trying to bounce off of this double bottom support down here. Notice there's this key support level. And if it holds, it's also hitting the lower Bollinger Band. It needs to get back above the middle Bollinger Band and then above all these moving averages. Look how they're all converged in this zone between 145 and 157. If it can get above this 300-day simple moving average at 157, then that'll be a signal that it wants to finally break out. This is it's an ugly chart, and it's showing it to you to keep an eye on what's going on in the shipping sector. Okay, two more charts here just real quick. Take a look at FNHI. This is one of the over-counter stocks that we've been following. We caught this run back here when it started on this day and made this really nice run, and then we were putting out warnings that it was topping out when it formed this big long wick and the red candle. This was all signs to get out. Now that it's made this retrace, now we're talking about possible re-entry here with the break above EMAs 4 and 8. Okay, so notice that the pink line now is EMA 4 and EMA 8 is the blue line. Notice how they're pinched. If the pink line goes above the blue line and the candles stay above, that's going to signal the bounce play is in progress. As long as it closes above EMAs 4 and 8 and the share price stays above that level, FNHI will be in play. If it closes back below those levels, it'll no longer be in play. So just keep an eye on it. Looks like the bounce play is starting. There is very low volume. If the volume disappears and there's no volume in this play, it won't be a good trader. It really needs to have volume to be a good trade. So we'll see if the volume picks back up. And then another one, we mentioned BUDZ, BUDZ, marijuana sector stock last night. This is another thinly traded play. The sector has been under big pressure. There's just been comment after comment about federal crackdown on the sector. So the stocks have been taking a beating. This is another one of those pulled back hard. Yesterday we reported that it had closed above EMA 4, that's the pink line, and then now today it's breaking EMA 8, that's the blue line. If it can close above EMA 8 and turn that level into support, then it could start a reversal here. So it's another thinly traded stock. We're just showing you one of the plays in the sector. Okay, thank you very much. If you enjoy this video, check us out at MyChartCoach.com and our YouTube channel at MyChartCoach.com. Thank you.